Chris, congratulations being named head coach of the Cleveland Charge, the 7th head coach in Charge history. It's got a good ring to it, doesn't it, don't you think? Chris Darnell, head coach of the Charge?
Absolutely. I like the way that sounds. Looking forward to it.
That's good, that's good. But you're not new to the organization. You've been an associate head coach for the Charge for the past 3 seasons. You've been a part of the Cavaliers organization for a little bit longer than that. How much of this does this mean to your coaching career to get this advancement to become the head coach?
It means a lot. As a coach, you want to continue to grow and evolve. Being in an organization where you feel like that's being recognized, you're being allowed to grow, you're being pushed to grow. I couldn't ask for a better situation. And so I'm just grateful for the opportunity and excited for it.
I learned a long time ago that the biggest 18 inches in basketball is from the assistant coach's seat, or in your case, the associate head coach, to the head coach's seat. So does that make you nervous? Does it make you excited? A little bit of both? What are the feelings when you think about that?
I'm definitely very excited. I feel like this is a long time coming. I've been working hard for this, so, I feel ready, but at the same time, there's going to be things that you haven't dealt with as an assistant that you'll deal with as a head coach. So I'm sure when those situations arise, hopefully that's where the preparation kicks in, but I'm sure there'll be, a lot of situations that'll provide a lot of different emotions throughout the season.
It's got to be a great vote of confidence for you as well when Kobe Altman, Mike Gansey, new Cavaliers head coach Kenny Atkinson, Charge GM LaRon Fannin, everybody's endorsed you for this position. It's got to make you feel good that all of the hard work that you've put in has really paid off.
Yeah, like I said, my time spent with this organization, both with the Cavs and the Charge, you just constantly feel the support of the organization from the top down, and so to have the support of, like you said, the front office, as well as Kenny, it means the world to me, and I don't take that lightly.
So as we said, you've been an associate head coach. How much is that going to help you with the move to head coach? Because as you even alluded to, you're a part of it, but the buck doesn't stop with you now that it does. Does that make you excited? Is that kind of something you're looking forward as well? How much does it help you to be the associate coach before?
Absolutely. I think that experience will pay dividends throughout the year. Just being in that position where you're trying to check all of the head coach's blind spots and be that kind of quality assurance person for that person has hopefully put me in a position to where now as the head coach, I'm already thinking about some of those things. And I'll have great assistants as well this year that'll kind of check my blind spots this year.
Now, there's a lot to be excited about, I'm sure. Things that you're looking forward to. Again, you've been around, so you know what basketball is all about. What are you most looking forward to, man, I can't wait to be the guy to make the decision on this, and at the same time, some of the things that aren't so great, you're going to have to deal with as well. What are your thoughts on those types of things moving forward?
The thing I'm most excited about is to just be like in the trenches with the players, really just get to work with those guys. Both the returning players and the new guys, that's what I love about the game is just the equity that you can build with the players and competing towards a greater good. So I think, that's obviously getting to make the decisions is an exciting part to put some of the ideas that I've had in the past, out on the floor and see what they look like. But more than anything, it's just working with the players and trying to help them reach their goals.
How about some of the things maybe you're not so much looking forward to? Dealing with officials, booing fans, broadcasters that are giving you a hard time?
That's all, good and fun. That's part of the territory. I think that I'm ready for that stuff. Obviously, there's difficulty and adversity that comes up during the season. And like I said, it's not just me. I have a staff that's going to be there to support me. Front office is going to be there to support me. So when those difficult times arise, we'll handle it in the correct manner.
You touched on it a moment ago about implementing some of your ideas. Of course, we know that the Cavs in Charge work hand in hand, as most G League and NBA teams do. Talk about the way you're going to have to try to marry the two together of keeping in tune with the Cavaliers system and the way they like things to be done, but also implementing your coaching style as well, now that you're finally getting the opportunity to do it your way.
Yeah, I think, on a more macro level, like we're going to try to mirror it and make it as close to the same thing as possible, whether that's from player development processes, kind of the strategy within our system. And then I think as you get into more specific, player development stuff, more specific opponent strategy, that's where maybe you have your tweaks for your own ideas and philosophies. But again, we're one organization, so we're going to try to make it look that way. But there's always room for, some creativity and individuality as well.
Speaking of the organization, unfortunately, you're not the only new head coach within the organization. Kenny Atkinson hired on as the new head coach of the Cavaliers. How much have you had a chance to talk with him? What are some of the ideas that you've shared? What have those conversations been like with basketball coming up quick?
Yeah, Kenny's been awesome. He cares a lot about the G League and the development process there. So we've had great conversations just about kind of what that'll look like. And like you said, he's a new coach here, so it's kind of just been that initial implementation of his ideas. And then I think we'll continue to grow those conversations as we get closer to Cavs training camp and then at our training camp as well. But he's been very supportive, very engaged and interested in how we run things and how we do things. So it's been great to have that support from him.
How about you personally? Because again, summer's pretty much over. Basketball season coming right around the corner, and folks that really aren't in the trenches the way you are, it comes upon you pretty quick. So I know you've got a lot of things that you've got to tighten up and tie down and get ready. What is your process right now as you're ramping into the season? It's going to come up pretty quick.
Yeah, absolutely. We've already got more and more people starting to come into the building. Like you said, it feels like the summer's over and the season is upon us. So I think it's just being, prepared, planning, and kind of starting to hold some of those initial meetings with our staff, evaluate roster, get ready for our local tryout that's coming up. So just some of those initial meetings to kind of lay the groundwork, and then as we get closer and closer to training camp, we'll start to ramp up those basketball conversations and the strategy talks as well.
Something else new, the Charge will have a new home this season over at Public Hall. Your thoughts on that? It's a great building. I know you've had a chance to kind of take a quick little peek. How excited are you for the move, and also how do you think it's going to be for the fans?
Yeah, I'm excited for the move. I think it'll give us a great setup. I think it'll be a more intimate setting for the fans. It'll make it a better experience for our players as well. So I think when we get in there, it'll be a good show, and hopefully people want to come out and watch.
In addition to your responsibilities with the Charge, you've been player development with the Cavaliers for a number of years. How much will that help you in coaching when it comes down to the fact that you've been on the floor working with Pete Nance and Imani Bates and a lot of these guys we're going to have in training camp? A lot of times people think coaching is just X's and O's, but it's really the development, as you mentioned, and the relationships you have with players. How much will that help you in your coaching, you think, this year?
I hope that it pays dividends. I think that one of the main priorities of the G League is to develop players. So hopefully that experience and, like you said, connecting with players, developing relationships, and then being able to kind of apply that to the court work pays dividends. And now that I'm the head coach, I still plan on being hands-on on the court with our guys, working with them on a daily basis. And I think that also hopefully provides me maybe a different lens into what a player's ceiling might be, where there's areas that I can empower them to grow into new skill sets. So hopefully that lens blended with the X's and O's gives me kind of an all-encompassing background.